half of the big UWF TNA event in Farmville, Virginia. Longwood University hosting what has so far been an exciting night of action, but you've got to believe, Grant Sawyer, it's only going to be kicked up even higher in the second half of this show.
Oh, I'm extremely anticipating the second half of this show myself, and one very formidable combination in the ring with Maven and Jacqueline.
You know, when I was getting short tonight, Jackie, I want to talk to you because I know these people here in Condra, wherever the hell we're at, they're not on our level. I was listening to Brother Ray earlier, and he had a phone message. And on the way here, I had a phone message too. It was like there was some George Clooney or whatever, you know, hey, I can't keep him straight anymore. Anyway, point being, he told me, he said, I understand that tonight you're going and you're going to wrestle in. Where the hell we at? It doesn't really matter. Ooh, that's new. I've never wrestled it all before. Take a little key hat, get a few boyfriend there. Anyway, what Clyde told me earlier, he's like, going to Farmville, Virginia. He's like, you and Jackie, and you guys, let's be honest, you wrestle everywhere. We've been in different countries. We wrestled in Madison Square Garden, the Staples Center. By the way, that's what I like to play basketball. And he said there's going to be two things you need going in the Farmville, Virginia. And we saw earlier exactly what those two things are: soap and water. Soap and water. Because after saying each and every one of your hands earlier, that's the two things that I need: soap and water. Soap and water. Get my opponents out here.
Maven cannot even be bothered to learn the name of the town.
Not endearing himself to a state that he used to call home.
Ever since he went Hollywood, that has been the attitude of Maven. But his opponent tonight is definitely not from Hollywood. Maybe not even from planet Earth. From Longwood University for the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy, once again tagging up with the lovely Amber O'Neal in mixed tag team action. And Grant, we were all there, and our regular viewers will know how successful this tandem was just a couple of weeks ago in Martinsville.
That's exactly right, and that was their first time ever as a duo that's getting both the screams from the men and the women.
Definitely two of the more good-looking individuals on the roster tonight. The ladies love Jeff, and as you noted, the men really love Amber. A North Carolina tandem who were victorious against Matt Bentley and Tracy in Martinsville, and now mixed tag teams lining up to take on these two. Maven and Jackie.
And really, as mixed tag team tandems go in TNA, Bentley and Tracy are the most established combination, and they've already been knocked off by this combination of Amber O'Neal and Jeff Hardy.
That's a great point. So essentially for this contest, we've got the two big-time Hardy chant. None of the Hardy haters came to Longwood. Tell you, he is the most unique wrestler on the TNA, UWF, or anybody's roster is Jeff Hardy. Love him or hate him, he evokes such a strong reaction.
In and out of the wrestling ring, he's the most unusual individual you could probably come cross paths with in life.
He probably came to the building dressed like that.
Oh, I have no doubt about it.
What if Amber walks around dressed like that in daily life?
Of course, Amber O'Neal for years have been very close with Jeff Hardy, been friends for many years, dating back to the last days of the Omega promotion. But only recently have those two been in the same corner, in the same ring, and that's exactly what TNA's bringing you.
Unique first-time matchups. One of the themes, one of the foundations that the UWF was built upon, that will undoubtedly be explored later this weekend, and we have another first-time matchup in the ring right now, as Amber O'Neal has been one of the most established female wrestlers in all the country, especially in the southern mid-Atlantic area. North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, has held women's championships in all 4 of those states, but locking up for the first time in her career with Jackie.
Certainly Jacqueline is the more well-known women's competitor in this matchup. Amber O'Neal may not be that all well-known on the West Coast, but this is her moment to truly shine and prove that she has what it takes to belong in there. Northern Lights by Jacqueline Early.
You gotta wonder if maybe Amber's intimidated to be in there with Jackie, former multiple-time world women's champion, and just flat out, one of the toughest competitors in the locker room is Miss Jackie. There's just no two ways about it. Oh, she can whoop half the men.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it be male or female, Miss Jacqueline can take them to school, so to speak.
Some would say unique pairings, as Hardy and O'Neal have got the North Carolina connection, as we established earlier. Of course, Maven and Jackie have got the connection dating back to Maven starting this sport on the first season of Tough Enough. Jackie was one of the trainers on that first season of Tough Enough, so they go back a long ways as well.
That's exactly right. I think a lot of people have almost forgotten that's how Maven really started, because he really came into his own and became so much more of than just a Tough Enough trainee. I mean, he's gone on to Hollywood, obviously, which he loves to brag about, but he's become a truly accomplished athlete in his own right.
Look at Amber take Jackie off her feet. Jackie is powerful, but Amber overpowers her on that hip toss. In addition to everything else, one of the more powerful women on the roster is Jackie, but Amber's taking it to her.
Exactly, Amber's showing a bit of power of her own, getting up for that body slam, and Jacqueline backing off in the corner now. Amber asking for more.
What an accomplishment that is, just to make Jackie back off.
Of course, getting past Tracy Brooks was one thing that Amber O'Neal accomplished, but getting past Miss Jackie is a whole nother mountain to climb.
Well, Amber was not successful in her UWF TNA debut in Danville, thanks to the assist that Tracy had from Maverick Matt Bentley. When the scores were even, the sides were even, Amber came out on top, and the sides are even in this one, 2-on-2, and not a 2-on-1 situation.
And so far, neither tag team really doing much tag team wrestling, but we are getting a fine singles matchup.
Boy, Amber asserted herself early on, but Jackie taking it to her on the canvas. Of course, as we mentioned, former multiple-time world women's champion, has been in the tutelage of Kevin Sullivan, Harlem Heat. This girl has been all over the world, Smoky Mountain, USWA. Jackie has been all over the world. Big shoulder tackle from Amber, takes her off her feet.
And once again, Jacqueline scurrying back to the corner, and for the first time in this contest, Maven gets the tag.
Of course, Maven, as we've alluded to, so enamored with that Hollywood lifestyle, being on the current season of The Surreal Life, moved himself out of Harrisonburg to California, where he now makes his home.
We know how much success other wrestlers have had that have moved to Hollywood in the past.
Do you think Maven will get the lead in Mr. Nanny too?
Jeff Hardy in for the first time, and boy, does this crowd not know it.
Everyone rocking out Longwood University with the Hardy chants, circling the ring.
Jeff Hardy has a jukebox in his head, and everyone in Farmville's dancing along with him tonight.
Back takes him into the corner. Maven looking to silence the jukebox in Jeff Hardy's head. Look at the guns on Maven. You can't take anything away from him.
Yeah, but he's trying to psych out Jeff Hardy. And if there's one guy that I don't think is capable of being psyched out, it's Jeff Hardy.
Jeff is cool with it. You're not gonna throw Jeff out of his game plan.
You're not going to show Jeff Hardy anything that he hasn't already seen in or out of the wrestling ring.
If Jeff comes in with a game plan, you're not gonna throw him off of it.
Oh, that's the truth.
He's just Jeff. He's like this in the ring and out of it. A lot of people, like I said, he elicits these positive responses from people.
You hear a lot of people talk about this different persona, different character they become when they enter a pro wrestling ring. Jeff Hardy is not that way at all. Jeff Hardy enters the ring the same way he would enter McDonald's.
That's a great, wow. Can you imagine going through the drive-thru with Jeff? Jeff riding shotgun and Jim Cornette driving would be the best drive-thru experience ever. As now, once again, everyone in Farmville getting behind the charismatic Enigma, who has experienced a rebirth of sorts in the UWF on the UWF sanctioned events, on hiatus from TNA and Spike TV for the time being, but is really rocking the houses on these UWF sanctioned events in Virginia and the Carolinas.
He certainly sent Shannon Moore packing.
He may send Maven back to California, drop sleeper. Unique offensive maneuver, he just dove at the man.
Jeff Hardy has the double leg. We've seen him hit this many times.
Stretching out the hamstrings, may have caught Maven a little low, and Maven wants to make a tag to Jackie.
You know, and interestingly enough, this will not be the first time Miss Jackie and Jeff Hardy have squared off in the wrestling ring.
Jackie does not seem too thrilled that she got the tag.
Jeff Hardy may be more worried about Jackie than he is Maven.
If you want to question Jackie's toughness, just think back a few years ago. Jackie lasted longer on Fear Factor than Jeff Hardy did. Imagine that.
That tells you something about her character.
I think the ref is not quite going to allow the tag, as it's man on man and woman on woman are the rules in this contest.
Unorthodox tactics by Maven grabbing the official like that, but it certainly paid off.
Big boot, look like to the sternum, maybe the rib cage of Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, but Maven has Jeff Hardy way too close to the corner. Amber O'Neal's right there. He really needs to reposition Jeff Hardy back to his corner.
Drops Jeff right on the back of his head, could rattle his brains.
Good luck with that.
Jeff going to make a tag, not close enough to the corner. Maven gonna cut him off and take him back to his half of the ring.
Of course, this is certainly an intriguing matchup from the fact that none of these four individuals are really on TNA Impact on Spike on a regular basis as of yet. And you gotta think, even though this is a tag team contest, all four have that individual goal of becoming TNA regulars each and every week.
That's gotta be the goal of everyone in the sport today. How many people have we seen leave the entertainment company up north and come to TNA? What a gorgeous drop kick from Maven.
God, Jim Brunzell, how long has it been? Maven with the lateral press, not the lateral press, but the very cocky cover on Jeff Hardy, and you certainly will not beat Jeff Hardy like that. Now with the lateral press, but still only able to get a two.
Our regular UWF TNA viewers have seen the attitude change that has developed in Maven in the last few months since his surreal life experience, renouncing his home state of Virginia and basically renouncing everything that he came from and transplanting himself to Hollywood.
I think if I spent a month or whatnot with a Lexus Arquette, I'd have a pretty big life change too.
Fair enough. Maven really cranking on the neck of Jeff Hardy.
Trying to use that power to lean down on this smaller Jeff Hardy. But of course, you've seen how much punishment Jeff Hardy has been able to take in the past, and Amber O'Neal is getting this crowd into it.
Hardy fights out, but the hair, Maven takes Hardy down by the hair, and now getting in the face of Amber O'Neal.
Jeff Hardy's trying to struggle back to his feet, but Maven meets him, choking him out on the second rope there.
Maven trying to take as much out of Jeff as he can. Obviously, the resiliency plays a huge part in anything Jeff Hardy does in the ring. He can come back from the dive from the balcony, through the ladders, through the tables, off of the roof of the building, off the taxi cab in Madison Square Garden. Measured in for another perfect drop kick, Grant.
Well, if we have established one thing tonight, that Maven has some of the prettiest drop kicks in 2006. Another cover, but you gotta give him just a 2 count.
Hardy looking frustrated in the corner of Maven and Jackie, not where he wants to be. Referee right there to check.
Boy, and Jacqueline looks like she just itching to get in there and get a shot in on Jeff Hardy.
Oh, she'll fight anybody, animal, vegetable, or mineral. I have no doubt of that.
Maven shooting Jeff Hardy off. Jeff Hardy, oh well, whispering the wind.
Caught him on the side of the temple. And now Hardy is in a position where if he can make that tag to O'Neal, he could change the course of the match.
The one big offensive flurry from Jeff Hardy completely changes the complexion of the match as Maven is down and they both need to make the tag to their respective partners.
Amber on the apron trying to get this crowd behind her. I know she'd have no problem with me getting behind her. Hardy inching his way. Makes the tag. Amber and Jackie are in.
The girls are in. Big clothesline by Amber O'Neal. Taking down Jacqueline. Tilt-a-whirl head scissors.
Spike Jackie on the top of her head with that tilt-a-whirl.
Amber with the cover, but Maven right there has his hands in the hair of Amber O'Neal.
The rules of this contest are stated man on man and woman on woman. The ref right there is trying to admonish Maven, who just got slapped.
Amber slapped the taste out of Maven's mouth. Big clothesline by Jeff Hardy. Takes them both up and over the top rope.
Amber, proud of her partner, second line. German suplex on the top of the head. And Jackie bends Amber in half with that German. And just like that, gets the victory.
Tremendous effort by Amber O'Neal. The picture-perfect German suplex by Miss Jackie ends this one.
Hardy took his eyes off the ball for just a moment to get Maven out of the ring. He was helping out his partner, but man, she got drilled into the canvas on that German. And with the bridge of Miss Jackie, that gets the victory for the Tough Enough tandem. A disappointing loss for Amber and Hardy, but what a great effort from Amber O'Neal and the charismatic Enigma here in Farmville.
It certainly will not probably be the last we see of that combination either. Win or lose, this crowd is very appreciative and respectful of Jeff Hardy and Amber O'Neal.
Amber in a lot of pain from that German, but as you said, the crowd still firmly behind the charismatic Enigma and Amber O'Neal, who in the short history of TNA UWF have really established themselves as the mixed tag team to beat. And you've got to think they're going to look for a rematch down the road with Jackie and Maven.